Our next award is the Distinguished Service Award. It's the final award of this morning, recognizing an individual or organization's sustained personal and professional commitment to the profession, effectively creating positive change. The 2025 recipient is my academic sibling, longtime friend, and it's my pleasure to announce Dr. David Zgarrick of Northeastern University.
Good morning, and thank you so much. I'd like to begin by thanking AACP's Board of Directors, and particularly President Law, for nominating me and supporting me through this process. The fact that this award is presented by AACP's Board of Directors to recognize service to our association and to the pharmacy education enterprise means a great deal to me. My involvement in AACP began as a graduate student at The Ohio State University. I attended my first AACP meeting in Boston in 1991, presenting a poster on the results of a research project. While this project had relatively little to do with pharmacy education, the feedback that I received from scholars that I recognized as leaders in our field gave me the sense that getting involved in AACP would benefit my career, particularly since I was beginning to gravitate towards a career in pharmacy education. I completed my Ph.D. and accepted my first tenure track position at Midwestern University, attending my first annual meeting as a faculty member in Albuquerque in 1994. At this meeting, Holly Mason and Joe Wiederholt, two scholars who I considered mentors, nominated me for the nominations committee for the Social and Administrative Sciences section. Little would I know that this was the beginning of my service journey in AACP, a journey that would lead me to places that I could never imagine at the beginning of my career. I would come to serve on many AACP committees and task forces, and eventually would be elected to serve as chair of the Council of Sections, chair of the Council of Faculties, and then serve 2 terms as AACP's treasurer. This service allowed me to have a seat at many tables, providing leadership and influencing the directions that pharmacy education and the practice of pharmacy would take as we pursued new ways to serve others. There are so many people to thank, as nobody goes on these journeys alone. I'd like to start by thanking my colleagues and administrators at Midwestern, Drake, and Northeastern Universities. All 3 universities have a strong commitment to supporting and recognizing faculty service, particularly service to AACP. I'd like to thank so many of you in this room, the colleagues that I have met through my involvement in AACP. I've come to think of AACP as a community of kindred spirits, people who come together from all over the country and literally all over the world to share their research, knowledge, and experience to advance pharmacy education and promote the safe use of medications. Over the years, I have come to know many of AACP's staff. I'd like to thank them, not only for their expertise and dedication to our association, but for also offering their hospitality to those whose service finds us spending many hours away from our institutions and families. And finally, I'd like to thank my family, particularly my parents, who instilled in me the value of service to others, and to my wife, Michelle, who has been a source of feedback, support, and patience, particularly during the times when my AACP activities impacted what we would do as a family. In closing, while I am grateful and humbled for this honor, it's important that we recognize that there are many others who have dedicated their lives to providing service to others. This service occurs in many levels, places, and forms. In higher education, we often recognize excellence in teaching and research, but sometimes must remind ourselves that we also need people who provide service to our organizations, creating environments and allowing outstanding teachers and researchers to thrive. Let's make sure that we continue to recognize service in the same manner that we recognize those who contribute as educators, scholars, and practitioners. Thank you very much.